to these deprived games.
And welcome back to the Super Pride Gamers Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, John, also known as JohnbTHETANK.
And happy St. Patty's Day. My name is Matt, also known as Thacam.
And today, first of all, happy St. Patty's Day.
Absolutely, John. I figured today, being in the spirit of St. Patty's Day, if you will, we can talk for just a moment about our favorite green characters.
Favorite green characters? Well, everyone knows what mine is. Master Chief. Everyone knows I'm a big Halo fan, so when you're going green, you might as well go powerful space super soldier with giant armored suit. I don't know. That kind of sounded like a weird gay fantasy, but
I would believe that coming from you.
Thanks for the vote of butt pirating confidence.
As far as my green character, I would definitely have to go old school. My favorite green character is Link.
Yeah, I can see that from you.
Yeah, I definitely love the Zelda franchise, and I'm still hoping that Nintendo will bring it on over to other systems.
Yeah, let's hope with the future. Nintendo's not doing very well on their own, so we may see that come to, say, Xbox.
I think it'd be a very far shot for them to just come out and bring it to Xbox. I think that
no, if anything, I think we'll see it on mobile devices first.
Yeah. Even though Nintendo's going up and down saying that, hey, this is never going to happen, they need to do something to sustain their business. They really do.
They need to change something.
So, also with the spirit of St. Patty's Day, me and John have picked our favorite green drinks for today.
Uh-huh. And mine, on the wuss side of things, is a margarita.
And it looks
because I have to drive home, so this will do me fine, though.
I actually have picked some green beer for the evening. In a monstrous size cup. There's actually 2 beers in here.
Is there?
There's 2 beers in here. And I think we'll send out a picture of what we're drinking tonight.
Looks like you popped a Shrek Zit in that cup. So what news you got for us this week, Matt?
So interestingly enough, after 14 years, Xbox Mark Whitten is stepping down from his position.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. He's been there for 14 years. Basically, he's just come out and said that he's had a great time working with them, that the company's in great hands, and basically it's just time for him to go.
Well, what's interesting enough is he released a statement, and it says, I've had the extreme pleasure over the last 14 years to work on the greatest product with the greatest team and for the greatest community. Xbox is so special because of the amazing team I've had the opportunity to work with, and because our fans are the most incredible fans on the planet. It's been a highlight of my career to work on the product so loved, and it's incredibly tough to leave, but I am confident the best days are ahead for Xbox fans in the capable hands of a very talented team. And it's not the first time that we've seen a Microsoft employee that's actually very high up in the public eye step down and actually go to another company. In this case, he's actually going to be the chief product officer over at Sonos, the speaker company.
Oh, interesting. It's a weird step from gaming to sound, I guess.
Well, you're looking at an entertainment medium.
Really, though?
I'd think so.
It's one thing to go from, like, say, movies, or no, from, like, game writing to, say, movie writing. It's a different thing entirely to go from video game products to speakers.
Business is business.
Okay, I guess. I guess that's true, considering they got the guy from Nokia to run Xbox who really wanted to get rid of Xbox. So,
So, when we had our guest host last week, Ninjatic and
James?
Really?
You can't... Demigod Phoenix.
Demigod Phoenix. I apologize, James.
Otherwise known as Deminix.
They told you last week how Twitch Plays Pokemon just finished Pokemon Red. Mm-hmm. Well, as of this week, Twitch Plays Pokemon just finished Pokemon Crystal.
Yep. With the help of Mr. White and Pinkman.
Now, something like this is incredible to me because you have thousands of people logging on at all times of the day to complete this game together as a team. And that's even with people who may be trying to spam the game or who may be trying to, otherwise just be trolls.
I was thinking about trying the whole Pokemon, Twitch Plays thing. Then I remembered I don't have very much patience when it comes to other people. And when there's 9,999 other people I have to deal with, not so much. Not so much.
Well, interestingly enough, I did have the opportunity to log in and play, and as it happens, I didn't see my move processed once. Maybe I just didn't wait long enough.
Well, it's got a democracy and anarchy mode that everyone's going to vote on. And if it's democracy, it chooses the top chosen move out of, I think, every 10 moves submitted. So you probably didn't see your move chosen once because you were probably trying to troll them and everyone was trying to go forward.
No, I wasn't trying to troll them. I seriously wanted to play. I think this project is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have loved to be a part of it. So I definitely did come in. In fact, I was using it under our Sleep Deprived Gamers Twitch account, which is, something that we've been toying around with. And I think that soon enough, we're going to be going live with that.
We are, very soon, as well as the YouTube channel, which I am working on some stuff for right now. And there should be some content up on that page very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys will be the first to know. I do want to try to have 2 or 3 things done before we start posting anything on there. So that way you guys can see what kind of content we'll be posting on there front to back. So keep an eye out for that. It should be within the next week or so. If anything changes, you'll be the first to know.
And once again, that's youtube.com/sleepymedia, and for all you Twitch fans, that's twitch.tv/sleepdeprivedgamers.
Yep.
So, something else, John, that was this week, the GDC.
Yes, it was, which I have not had a chance to watch anything about yet.
So, what's really interesting is there was a 25-minute long speech, and it was given by Riot Games' narrative lead, whose name is Tom Abernathy, and Microsoft Game Studios' design lead, who's Richard Rouse III. And they just came on stage and said that many gamers who play even the most story-driven titles, they're not finishing them. And they actually gave us a whole breakdown. Now, when I play these games, me and you, we finish these games, but, we know a ton of people that are probably falling within these statistics.
If anything, out of this entire list they gave, I only did not finish one game, and that was the original Portal. And that wasn't because I couldn't finish the game. That was because I got into a game-breaking glitch I couldn't get past and got really angry and just never picked it up again.
Mm-hmm. Now, most of these were done on, the study was done on Steam.
Right.
Because they wanted to see how the most players react. And I want to take a look back through it again. It's the speech is called Death to the 3-Act Structure. Because, as you know, most games that come out now, you have your intro, your actual story, and your finale.
Right.
And most of the people don't ever get to that third step. They stop right in the middle.
Right.
And it is some interesting statistics. And as we see here, they have the game The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1. That has a 66% completion rate.
Mm-hmm. And then Mass Effect 2 with 56%.
BioShock Infinite, which was very interesting considering how much of controversy there was about the game. Only about 53% of people finished it.
Yep, and then a game series as popular as the Batman Arkham games, Batman Arkham City had 47% completion.
As far as Portal, I can kind of understand it. Maybe if you're not one for puzzle games.
The game did have a lot of glitches.
I loved Portal. I really did, and I thought it should have been way more higher than it is, but it's a completion rate of 47%.
And then speaking of games with controversy, Mass Effect 3, another one where people were complaining about the ending, only 42% of the people who played it ever beat it.
Following up from before, Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 5, it only has a 39% completion rate.
Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. This one I kind of understand. It's a very long game, and maybe those who this looks like a great game, and then go pick it up. Then it's like they didn't have the patience to beat it.
Well, there's
like you, Matt.
Okay,
Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim.
Exactly,
so,
but
32%.
There's especially games that had such publicity, maybe not from a marketing standpoint, but how about the memes that were made from it? How about the fact that everybody knew this game? If you remember, I used to be, soldier that took an arrow to the knee. That came from Elder Scrolls. Well, you would have thought that this game would have had a much higher, a higher completion rate because of the amount of things that went around it.
And then the last game on their list, poor Tiny Tina with Borderlands 2. Only 30% beat that.
Which is interesting, because Borderlands actually really does have an exciting storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see too many drop-off points in it.
But you kind of missed the whole joke I made there. Only 30% of the people who played it beat Tiny Tina.
And we move on. So I don't know what that means to the game development community. They said that statistically most players don't finish games, and we've seen numbers that say something like a third do not finish games. So what do you think this means to the game development community?
I think they need to make a chart for people who skip cutscenes.
A chart?
Mm-hmm. Or just a percentage sheet like that. Just so we can see people like you.
Definitely. I'm not big on cutscenes. I mean, I've said it time and time again.
Every time I watch you play a game, I want to punch you.
I'll be playing a game and I don't play it. And
Oops, I hit a button!
I didn't oops it. I totally wanted to get past it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a game should be a movie. I think that a game should be a game, and all cutscenes should be interactive parts of the game.
I'm totally the opposite. I feel like cutscenes are kind of like my prize for getting through a section. I get to get a little more of the story because I've worked my way through this part of the game. So, what was the other little bit of news that we had read earlier? One that we didn't talk about because we didn't do an episode last week. Minecraft's coming to the Xbox One finally.
Yes, it is, coming out at the end of this month, and I'm excited to not lose maps anymore.
I'm excited to watch you try not to lose maps anymore.
Now, guys, if you've listened to the podcast, you know that I've made I'd say about 7 or 8 maps.
And all of them are gone.
Now, here's the thing, though. They've all been extremely huge. I don't make small things.
Your mom did, though.
I don't make small Minecraft maps. And I think that's part of my downfall, because I've made things like... You've played Harmonix.
Mm-hmm.
Harmonix was a pyramid-type maze where you had to go up level to level to get to the top.
I'm the same way. You've played both Rapture and the Normandy, which I recreated in Minecraft.
Now, I'm just hoping that you can have, servers on the Xbox One version, and that you can invite other people to come play with you. Or you can have it open to the public.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
I would love to see
if you could host a server through Xbox's servers, whether you pay like $5 extra.
I think if you have a Minecraft membership, you should be able to do that anyway.
If you can link it to your PC account, that'd be kind of cool.
There you go.
Well, no. If you have a Minecraft membership, that doesn't do anything server-wise, though. Because on the PC, your PC is the server. Mm-hmm. You have to get server hosts for the game. So, therefore, if you want to do a public game that's always running, you probably have to pay something.
Well, I would do that. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be against maybe setting up a Sleep Deprived Gamer server.
I was actually just about to say that. That'd be kind of cool.
So I definitely think that's something to consider. I'd also like to see some new bricks come in, some new tools that we can be able to
blocks
use.
Or tools. Well, they are going to be coming in because the Xbox One version is going to be a lot more caught up to the PC version than the 360 version is.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot wait to see some of those things come in.
And it'd also be very interesting to see the use of, if they'll allow it, mods within the game.
Highly doubt that, but we can dream.
We can always hope.
So there is one thing I do want to talk about this podcast. If we don't talk about anything else, I'm okay with that. We have to talk about this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The surprised look you and me had on our face when we walked out of the theater after seeing the Need for Speed movie.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be really bad. It wasn't the greatest movie in the world. Let me get that across first. It wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but I was impressed. They did a really good job. It's probably one of the better movie or video game-based movies I've seen.
Now, we've both said it before, right? So, typically when we see games become movies, movies become games, it's not the best transition. And because of that, a lot of times people go in with these preconceived notations that, this movie is going to be terrible, or this game is going to be terrible. And a lot of the times, unfortunately, they're right.
Mm-hmm. This time, I have to say, after watching that movie, I did nothing but want to go fast the entire time after I watched that movie. And maybe I did, but we're not going to say where or when because things don't want to be getting in trouble here. So, but for the most part, after watching that movie, I had this incredible urge to own a Mustang. Let's just say that.
I'll say that, this movie, unfortunately for me, it had two things going against it. The first one was it was a game becoming a movie. Again, I'm not for that most of the time, and I like the Need for Speed franchise, and I didn't want anything to happen to it.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing was I wasn't about Aaron Paul playing the main character.
Yeah. And he actually did a really good job doing it.
I didn't see Jesse once in his character.
Yeah, we were expecting to see Jesse Pinkman that entire movie.
And that's the thing, you see these characters come on other movies, TV shows, other mediums of video,
and they typecasted from what they originally did.
Exactly, and I think that they picked him just because he.
That's
was
like
that
I'm
way.
watching this new show on Netflix. It was something doctors. It's about doctors in Russia, and one of the actors in the show is the kid who played Harry Potter, and I can tell you the only thing I'm seeing that kid throughout the entire show is Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
He's Harry Potter.
Well, some people are going to be that character no matter what they are, and that's just the way it is. I'm glad that Aaron Paul has broken that shell of Jesse, and I'm really excited to see what he does in the future. I definitely thought that this was going to be a movie that had potential to break his career.
Right.
Now, what I will say is this: the car scenes are wonderful.
Oh yeah.
The main story, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give it great, but it's good.
The cheesy side story.
It throws a lot in that doesn't need to be in there, and I think that if they're going to make a follow-up, which I could see them doing.
Oh yeah.
It needs to be better thought out. I think that they really rushed into it.
I think after doing the first one, they'll all have a better idea of how they should do it for the second one. Hopefully. Because usually that's what happens. If the first movie in a series... Sorry, I got hiccups now from drinking. If the first movie in a series is okay or bad, usually the second one is better, and if not, they shouldn't be making a second one. So, let's hope that's not the case and that the second one is better.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can only get better. If they do what I hope they do, it can only get better.
Gotcha. So, the last thing I'd like to talk to you about today, John, is kind of just a discussion moment here. And I think it's a no-brainer. What have we been playing? Titanfall. And I have to say, oh my gosh. And we thought that the beta was good.
The game is great. I do have one complaint, though.
What's that?
And it's not... It doesn't have anything to do with the game. It has nothing to do with my Xbox. It has to do with my ISP. So, tomorrow, I have to make a phone call to my internet service provider because I paid for 18 megabyte download. And I did a test yesterday because my internet was acting funny. You know what I was getting, Matt?
5?
3. So, I haven't been having the greatest time in the world playing Titanfall. But when my internet connection isn't being a derp duck run over by a truck, I'm actually having a great time playing this thing.
Derp duck run over by a truck.
Yes.
Now, I'll say this, though. Titanfall, it takes a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It does take a lot, and I've seen a number of people on there glitching. But as far as the gameplay for myself, I have to say it's very smooth gameplay. I like the options that are given. Hell, I like the burn cards, too.
Oh, the burn cards are a lot of fun.
So, I think that out of this game, I have to give it an 8 out of 10.
You'll find out what I give it when the review comes out within the next week or so.
I look forward to it.
Alright, I think that's about it for today's episode.
Yeah, as far as news, that's what we got for you today, guys. I do want to take this moment, and I think John's going to join me on this. We apologize for last week for not having an episode. We did have other things that were going on, so that's why we want to try to get as much caught up this week as we could.
Yeah, absolutely. We never ever want to miss a week. So unfortunately, sometimes things happen and we can't make it. We are going to try to get better at that. So hopefully in the future, there won't be as many weeks missed. If that is the case, if we can't record, we're going to try to do like what we did when we were out of town and have 2 others who are a part of our show record for us.
Absolutely. Guys, stay tuned for all the new things we have coming out. We are actually coming up upon our 1-year anniversary here at Sleep Deprived Gamers, and we are looking to make that just as special for our listeners as ourselves.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We actually have to talk about that a little bit. But hopefully it's something that involves you guys and maybe prizes. We'll see.
I'm thinking prizes.
Prizes sound like a good idea.
So, guys, if you want to get in on that, definitely go to Facebook.com/SleepDeprivedGamers. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Or, hey, go down to sleepdeprivedgamers.com, give us some comments, give us some feedback. We're coming on our first year, and we definitely want to start getting to know our community and giving stuff away.
I can't wait.
Absolutely.
I can't believe it's going to be a year already. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back again next week with some big gaming news, hopefully, out of GDC. So thanks for joining us. I'm John.
I'm Matt, and happy St. Paddy's Day. And like always, stay sleepy, game on.
Sleep deprived game.